A day in the life of the Renewal Programme, volunteering. The Renewal Programme believes in volunteering. It's an important expression of its mission, vision and values. Without our volunteers, we couldn't deliver the quality, range and volume of support to the people of Newham. The charity is committed to its volunteer programme and strongly values the contribution of individual volunteers. We aim to build and sustain a volunteer programme benefiting all those involved, our volunteers, members of staff and service users. We want to put volunteers at the heart of our work, to support members of staff to work with volunteers and to support our volunteers so they have the best experience possible with us. We see volunteers not only as invaluable human resource, but also for what they are, members of the community we support. They are the community supporting the community. They are a remarkable example of the Renewal Programme empowering individuals for a stronger community, giving people the opportunity to improve their confidence, gain new skills, improve their well-being, reduce feelings of isolation, and engage with their local community in a way that makes them feel valued. We want to develop a sense of community around volunteering with the Renewal Programme. Volunteers can reinforce cross-project collaboration and a sense of belonging to the charity as a whole. We use the same holistic, personal approach with volunteers and service users. Some of our most dedicated volunteers are also service users, which we encourage when possible. Volunteer roles are varied and correspond to current projects. Our Refugee and Migrant Project currently works with 13 volunteers. Our dedicated team of food bank volunteers have received further training, and our food bank assessors are now using Upshot to provide better support for our service users. Our Training and Education Department currently has 2 office volunteers. Mervet has been volunteering with us for several years, and Munchi has just started as our Bengali-speaking training assessor, helping us communicate with learners over the phone. Before the 3rd lockdown, we had a consultation session with our teachers to work on developing more volunteer roles when in-person classes resumed. We are currently working on launching our new community hub with 8 new volunteers recruited and trained for our cafe and digital hub volunteer roles. Now that lockdown is hopefully easing for good, we also have plans to further develop our volunteer programme across our other long-standing projects such as youth and housing. As you know, COVID hasn't prevented us from working in the community. Our helpline, Chat Newham, started out as a volunteer-led response and was powered by close to 30 volunteers throughout the lockdown year. The Connect Newham Befriending Project emerged at the start of 2021. We now have recruited and trained close to 30 volunteers to be matched and receive ongoing support from our colleague Khadija. We have been working with Minnie to set up our Digital Champions project as part of our wraparound services. We have worked on adapting the volunteer role during COVID, recruiting a group of remote digital champions and working with our housing department to support our current service users. We have also started working with our fundraising team, and we work closely with the communication lead who helps us push our volunteer recruitment drive and publicise our volunteer programme. A big part of the volunteer coordinator's role is to ensure volunteers' training needs are answered. I deliver general volunteer training to all our volunteers. It is very important that volunteers get this opportunity to meet volunteers working on other Renewal Programme projects and get a better understanding of the charity as a whole. Volunteers receive basic training on safeguarding, data protection, confidentiality, health and safety, and establishing boundaries. This is followed by project-specific training. We work hand in hand with other members of staff to ensure that volunteers receive ongoing support for their time with us. This is essential, as volunteers need to be able to discuss their needs, successes and challenges with the volunteer coordinator as well as the member of staff they work with. We hope that we slowly come out of lockdown. You will have the opportunity to see more and more of these faces in person. We hope to organise volunteer socials and other opportunities to celebrate our volunteers. We now have around 50 volunteers. A day in the life